Hello everyone, can you hear me? Welcome to the most popular webinar topic that we have ever run because we have been talking about diamonds, customizations, wedding bands, yellow gold gemstones, but the topic about the differences between lab grown and natural remain as the one with the highest turnout, highest attendees, and I welcome you, and we will share very deeply about the differences. I even prepared a few diamonds and non-diamonds and lab-grown natural beside me, and I'll be showing you very soon. Okay, so make yourself feel very comfortable. I would love that you just interrupt me anytime with any questions that you have, something that you have read online, something that you heard from salesperson, something that your mom tells you. Just ask me about it because I will be so happy to answer the questions anytime. So I have prepared this small little free gift, which is a pearl bracelet. It's cultured pearls, natural cultured pearls, and anyone who would like to get this gift, please ask me as many questions as you can, and if I have a very active attendee today, I'll give it out to him or her. So welcome Evangeline, Ariel, I have Daryl, Sam, Prajali, Shadik, Noor, Jaslyn, Jenny. Hello, everyone. So just speak up, okay? Just chat. If you like to just voice out something, just let me know, okay? My team is here with us today. I have Chris, and Chris is there, very experienced. I have Curie as well. So they are helping me to read your messages and alert me, and so I can answer to you. Okay? All right. So first of all, I would like to share who I am, just so that you know how come I know all this information. I'm representing two companies today. One is eClarity, one is BA.SG. eClarity has been around for 16 years, customized so many beautiful jewelry for the past 16 years for Singaporean couples mainly. Wedding bands, proposal rings, fulfilled many love stories and dreams. One-on-one consultation, very specialized, and you can visit their website, and the numbers is there, the WhatsApp, the number that you can WhatsApp and send your inquiry. The other brand is very interesting, I think, for most of you today. Take note of this website, ba.sg. It's a very youthful, forward-thinking brand. Okay, maybe one of the first few in Singapore and also the region selling lab-grown diamonds very aggressively. The choices, you will be spoiled for choice, but they also have specialized people answering to your queries and answering and helping you to shortlist and recommend diamonds to you according to your budget and your needs. Okay, so I'm proud of these two brands. My name is Amanda. So 16 years ago, after graduating from NUS, I took the leap of faith. I went to New York and did a postgraduate gemology, where I studied about diamonds, metals, gemstones. Books are one thing, studying is one thing. For 16 years, I've been seeing at least 10 couples per day in Singapore, helping couples to shortlist diamond, design their bands, and up till today, I'm still seeing clients, and now I'm seeing you through this very virtual, but I will make it as real as possible, and I will tell you exactly how to pick a diamond, be it natural or lab grown, in the most practical manner. Okay, now some people like it practical, some people like it very sophisticated, so I will recommend according to your needs, but you have to voice out and ask me questions so I can recommend according to your needs. Okay, all right, there will be a few parts to today's webinar. I'll keep it as short, as sweet as possible. Now the first part, right, I want to tell you the difference between natural, lab grown, not a diamond, and gemstones, because it's so funny that we are trained since young. Whenever you see something that looks like this, we call it diamond. Correct or not? Right? It could be glass, it could be plastic, it could be cubic zirconia, but we are taught since young as baby girls and baby boys, right? Then we will say that, oh, there's a diamond on the floor, there's a diamond on your shoes. So today, this dream will be awakened and we will know exactly how to tell them apart. Okay, this is the first part. Okay, the second part, I will also show you how are diamonds graded, how are lab-grown graded, are they the same way of grading, what lab should you be trusting, and what about colorless gemstones should you consider, what about synthetic stones, what are the things to look out for, right? That's the second part to this. Now the third part, I'll very quickly go through some of the settings just so that for most of the guys and girls here who are planning for your proposal or wedding, I always think that this is only complete when you choose the right stone and the right design, right? You can't have just one but not the other. I'm happy to see all of you today because as we started in Singapore, now I think we almost have equal number of attendees coming from Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, and Australia as well. So I want to welcome all of you. We speak the same language, so just ask any question. Okay? All right, let's go down to the very first part. What are the few types of stones that looks like this? Okay, all right. I think I have very briefly mentioned, and you can see it from the slides there. So something that looks like this, it could be natural, it could be lab grown, it could be a diamond simulant. This is a very sophisticated term that refers to diamond, not diamond, okay, right? Or synthetic stone. And the fourth one is colorless gemstone, right? They all look similar, but which is which? Okay, now let's talk about natural diamonds now. So natural diamonds are formed 90 to 120 kilometers below the earth. Okay, now imagine you are under 90 and 120 kilometers below the earth. It is an environment with very high temperature, very high pressure, and when carbon is there, it will be compressed and diamonds are formed. It takes millions of years for the diamond to be formed, complete, and then be exposed to the surface of the earth, or it is mined and it comes out, right? And we unearth a diamond. That's how the term comes about. And then it sends for polishing, for assessment, for grading, and then eventually land on your girlfriend's or your fiance's finger, right? And she say yes, and she marry you, right? So that is natural diamond. Very simple. Okay. All right. I think we are clear. Okay. Natural diamonds. Now, second thing, what is this lab-grown diamond about? Now, lab-grown diamond, initially, it is also created in a lab, right? Where they use machine and create the high pressure, high temperature, similar to the environment that is 90 to 120 kilometers below the earth. And when carbon is there, again, diamond is formed. All right. Now, back many years ago, when I first joined this industry, about 16 years ago, I was so fascinated with this because it doesn't mean cheaper, right? And then I went, when I visited exhibition and all that, I always take note of lab-grown diamonds. Now, back 16 years ago, to my disappointment, lab-grown diamonds are usually huge and very expensive, and it's usually tinted with colors. Now, the reason is, why is there colored diamonds? Why are diamonds sometimes colorless, sometimes tinted with colors? When there is nitrogen, diamonds become yellowish. Okay, when there is boron, diamonds become blue. But what I wanted as someone who is in my early 20s, and now you know my age, 16 years ago, I'm early 20s. You then know that I wanted a colorless diamond, but they were selling things like 20, 30 carat. I think the mentality is that because back then it was very expensive to create that kind of environment, and they were not able to eradicate totally nitrogen, the presence of nitrogen and boron and all that. So it's usually huge, just so that it has the economy scale, right? And it's usually colored. So not something that is commercially viable. Okay, so that is just a bit of background of how lab-grown diamond was back 16 years ago. Okay, now when the lab-grown diamond is created in that sense, is it still diamond? It is definitely diamond, because it is high pressure, high temperature with the presence of carbon, and therefore diamond is created. Now when we say it's really diamond, it means that the properties are the same. Example, when you ask me, am I a human? I am a human, right? Whether I was a IVF baby or not, yeah, or not. I'm a human. I'm a human because I have circulatory system, I have respiratory system, and I'm not a robot. Okay, so whether I'm created in a lab or not, I'm a human. Lab-grown diamond is the same. So there are a few properties that are crucial to test if a stone that looks like diamond, if it's diamond. For example, the hardness, the morph scale hardness, it has to be 10, not 9, not 8, not 9.5, but 10, right? There are other things to test, for example, the gravity, for example, how some of the inclusions are also proof to the fact that that's diamond, right? And there's also something very convenient in the market now, which is diamond tester. So we're not talking about moissanite, we're not talking about cubic zirconia, right? I would like to always say that that is like a robot, not a human, but a robot. You get me, right? So that's what we are talking about. Okay, now recently, not recently, but there are two methods to create diamond these days. There's also CVD method. Okay, and it is there are people who prefer high pressure, high temperature method. There are people who prefer CVD method. As an end user, I would like to suggest that we don't have to get too technical about this. What we want is, of course, we want a colorless, we want a diamond, we want it, I'll talk about grading later on, but it is what that is listed on the cert that matter than the method that it was produced, right? Now, if you are interested to know more about the method of production, we can take it offline, and this will be a bit more advanced. Maybe most of us here are not interested to know too much about this. Okay, so now if I were to if I were to summarize this, you just need to remember, like if a baby, right, it is a natural diamond. Okay, now IVF baby, you know what IVF baby is, huh? It is lab-grown diamond. All right, so just, I think one thing that I want you to remember in terms of, sorry, my handwriting, is this first, okay? I will show you how they look like later on. All right, now what is diamond simulant? Diamond simulant, it can be anything else, right? The hardness will not be 10. They just look like diamond, but they are not. Okay, but so be very careful when you're shopping in the market, because back 1-2 years ago, I feel that people were still using these terms very loosely, that sometimes they mention diamond, but it's actually not diamond. Or lab-grown colorless stone, but it's not diamond. It is also not lab-grown stones. Now the price range could be $500, $1,000. So they are actually just cubic zirconia. Now, so how do we identify? So there are people who say they have cert. Yeah, any stone can have cert, right? So the most important question is, what is the hardness? The important and simple question: what is the hardness? What is the morph scale hardness? Okay, morph scale is MOH apostrophe S scale hardness. So ask this question. If you hear 10, then you check the report. Okay, so that is a very quick way to identify diamond and diamond simulant to ask this question, right? Now, can you do you know how to see? Later we'll go into grading. It's not easy to just use your eye and I can tell you immediately, but later we will go through and see how many of you could tell the right answer. Okay, now someone just asked me, very good question, but is it acceptable to buy diamond simulant? Is it acceptable? I tell you this story, right? So if you were to throw a diamond, or whether it's natural or lab grown, and you throw another diamond simulant from level 15, you know, in Singapore, we all live very high level, and if we throw the two stones down from level 15 to ground floor, your diamond, whether it's natural or lab grown, versus the other one, which is diamond simulant, your diamond may survive the fall, but the other one could have chipped and knocked or even breaking into two. Okay, so don't try this at home. So I'm not suggesting that you should throw it from level 15 to ground floor. But I think what I want to tell you is that diamond was a very unique expression and symbol of love because of its hardness, and it symbolized love. So it should go through your many, many years of togetherness and your union, you know, till the very end. So so the strength of the hardness was something very symbolical for diamond. So I just want to bring back some of the soft part of choosing diamonds for you lah, right? It's not just the price, it's not just I'm wearing a huge diamond, but the hardness was something that was very much treasured. Now, also a bit more technical input is that if a stone is hard, like 10, you can imagine that the guy who is doing the polishing, the expert who is doing the polishing of the diamond, they can really polish to a premium reflection, where if it's a softer one, the reflection is usually less attractive than diamond. So these are the two key points of why we choose diamond, whether natural or lab grown, as compared to diamond simulant. All right. Now, if it's like a boyfriend girlfriend thing, you just want to choke the girl, yeah, you know, we could. But I think I have a better suggestion. If you want to choke the girl, we can choke the girl with gemstones. Okay, which is my next. I have more questions coming in. Let me just take a look. Is the hardness mentioned in certificate? No. So, Pranjali, very good question, just so that I clarify. Now, diamonds always have hardness of 10. It's just like human always have our heart to the left. Okay, there are some exception, but you know, but in general, it is actually a characteristic of a human, right? So Morse scale hardness of 10 is also the characteristic of a diamond. Okay, so I have never seen a diamond with hardness 9. All right, now when you say whether it's listed on the cert and you mention GIA and DBS, let me just put it this way. GIA, you don't have to look for the hardness column or description. They will write it down very clearly that this is a diamond or this is a lab-grown diamond. So it's clearly specified on GIA reports. Okay, so now I am more worried about some of you know, our attendees here, or some of the customers I've seen. You know, they walk around the stores and they just hear from some, you know, maybe some salesperson, maybe salesperson who are not extremely well trained themselves. They might have used these terms interchangeably. Okay, so those are the ones that I want you to beware. But when you get a GIA report, a legit one, and it says it's natural or lab grown, that is what it is. Okay, all right, so you don't have to check Morse scale in that in that case. All right, okay, very good. Keep your questions coming. All right, so I was saying if you want to choke your girlfriend, right, you can also explore things like gemstones. So you know what gemstones are, right? Gemstones are typically with colors. So I want all of you to remember that other than diamonds, the most expensive of, or shall we don't use the word expensive, but the most premium 3 stones are, who knows? Emerald. Yes, very good. Let me show you how emerald looks like. Yeah, this is a clip, huh? Oh, someone raising your hand, huh? Okay. Yeah, you can just type it. I am actually staring at the Q&A and the chat just so that I can, I can keep interacting with you. So, okay, first is emerald, right? So below diamond, okay, the most premium gemstones, and we call them the big 3. So the first one is emerald. Anyone knows the second one? Let me see. I will see the pop up. Okay, there are some other questions. Okay, let me answer to this later. Now the second gemstone that is also among the big 3 is ruby. Okay, and then the third one, well, you're not interested in gemstone, I just do it very quick. Okay, the third one is sapphire. Let me just pick and see. Because you're not interested, so I find a smaller one. Okay, so these are the 3 gemstones that are below diamond. Now, there are some gemstones that are colorless and they look like diamond. So later I will show you, since the questions now that are coming in are not so much about gemstones, but just so that you know, when you see something colorless, it can now mean, can you repeat it at home or where you are? Okay, so it could be natural diamond, lab-grown diamond, not a diamond at all, so we like a cubic zirconia or glass or plastic, or colorless gemstone. It could mean these 4 things. All right, okay, this is the first summary I want you to know. Okay, let me read out the second interesting question. How can I make sure that GIA or any cert is legit? What this word legit is a trending word now. Luckily, I know. Are there any fake reports I need to be careful of while buying a diamond? Very good question again, and I must say that you have to be careful. Yes, of course, we all need to be careful. Now, 2 parts to answer to this question. Now, there, GIA, IGI, EGL, HRD. Let me know if you need me to repeat. GIA, IGI, EGL, HRD, AGS. Now, these are rather, so GIA, I would think, is the academic, nerdy report, okay? Now, the rest, like the IGI, EGL, HRD, AGS, they are reputable enough. Okay, now when you get certs like that, I will compare a bit more in detail later on. But when you get certs like that, it is okay. Now the worrying thing is if you hear certs like AMD, ABC, DEF, like 3 alphabets combined together. Those could be what? In-house cert. And when I say AMD, you know what it stands for? What's my name? Very good. It's Amanda cert. So please laugh. Yep, thank you. Okay, so yeah, I just want you to know that it doesn't mean when you hear 3 alphabets, it means an international report. Okay, all right, so check out the background a little more. If I were to just give you a quick tip, I kind of like GIA for natural. I like IGI for lab grown. I'll tell you more later on. I'll tell you why later on. Okay, and I don't like AMD cert. Okay, not that I want to sabotage myself, but the problem with my cert or any 3 alphabets combined together kind of cert is that it's disputable. Okay, so in Singapore can pass lah, AMD cert, but when you go to New York, you say, no, my Amanda from Orchard Road says, yeah, all the Malaysian attendees here, Orchard is like the most, like your Bukit Bintang street. You know, my Amanda from Orchard Road says this is a D color IF diamond, but they won't know what who is Amanda, what, you know. So you want a cert that is not disputable. Okay, if I were to answer this question, of course. Now, when someone give you a GIA, I think your question is it real? Is it definitely real? That's the reason why you have to go to a reputable jeweler when they are highly at stake, right? When you go to, let's say, a well-established brand, they have their QC process, and all our buying chain is very established. Like, we just don't buy from anybody. So most of the brands, we have more than 10, 20, 30 years of experience. The chain of supply is fixed and reliable, tested throughout. Yeah, so be very careful if you're going to a brand that does not have a good heritage. Of course, you know, I'm just saying as a friend, you know what I mean. That is when you need to practice your additional checks. For example, there's always a barcode to be scanned on the GIA report, whether you want to scan the code and double confirm, things like that. Okay, I personally have not seen a fake GIA report before, but I won't be surprised. You know what I mean? I won't be surprised. Okay, so I hope my long answer have answered to your question. Okay, is GIA more stringent than the rest? I've seen IGI versus GIA cert. Okay, yes, very good question, Evangeline. Can I know whether you're looking at lab grown or natural? Okay, answer me when you are ready. Okay, now let me move on. Now, I want you to go through this keep your question coming, keep your answers, just chat with me, okay? Now, all right. I would show you 4 stones right in front of you, and I want you to have a grading experience. Kiri, can we go to that page? Okay, look at this. And these 4 stones are actually beside me right now. 4 stones here. Okay, one is real diamond. One of it, I don't know which number, I'm not telling you. So one of them is natural diamond. Another one is lab grown diamond. Another one is colorless, I think colorless topaz here, which is gemstone. Okay, a gemstone that has no color. And another one is actually just a synthetic stone, a cubic zirconia kind of stone. Now, looking at this virtual experience here, the video is, we just took this, and the stones are here. Interesting, right? Oh, you can't see, okay, because I can't turn it. It's a laptop that I'm using. So can all of you bring out a piece of paper and write down don't change your answer, because I'm going to flash the answer later. So you look at 1, 2, 3, and 4. Write down your identification, right? Okay, try it while I read the Q&A. I'll give you about 3 minutes. Okay, so Evangeline looking at natural. Okay, good question, good answers. I will answer to that. Okay, do you have your answers ready? If you have your answers, can they actually take a picture of their answers and send to here? No, huh? They can't. Okay, just take a picture, okay? If you can, you just send to the WhatsApp, the RSVP. Yeah, just so that we kind of commit ourselves that we're not changing answer, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, which one do you think is, all right, can you all shout out together? Which one do you think is the topaz? It's not diamond, not natural, not lab grown, not cubic zirconia that try to look like diamond. It is a gemstone. Which one? Okay, you can type in the questions and answer, or you can just chat. All right, thank you. Wow, I have 2, I have 1, I have 2. Not bad, huh, guys and girls? Okay, so the colorless topaz is number 2. So who got it right? Shadik got it right. Evangeline got it right. Thank you. Let me show you, okay? So I have it right beside me. So this is colorless topaz. All right? Okay, there's also colorless sapphire. So they are gemstones. I wonder whether you like a colorless gemstones better or a not diamond at all. Okay, so now can you now, so some of you got it right, some of you got it wrong. I won't read out your name when you tell me the wrong answer, but Shadik and Evangeline got colorless topaz correctly. Okay, now can you tell me which piece is cubic zirconia? Shout out your answer. Is it 1, 3, or 4? Okay, I have answers coming in. 1, 4. Okay. 1. Oh wait, this is so tough. Evangeline. Yeah, that's why I need to study in New York about it, right? Okay. So okay, 1. So mostly 1 or 4. Oh, more people saying 4. Interesting. The answer is number 1. So let me show you number 1. This stone, right? For those who think this is a diamond, this is only $50. Okay, it's a 1 carat. That's $50. So this is number 1. All right, it's a fake stone. Okay, don't try this at home. But if I throw it from level 15 to ground floor, and $50 will be gone. Okay, I mean, I don't know whether it will chip into two, but it will definitely have scratches and you will have breakages along the edge of the facets. All right, okay. Now, which one do you think is, give yourself some ticks and crosses, okay, on your paper. Which one do you think is lab-grown diamond? So we are left with number 3 or number 4. Okay, very quick, the answer, pop, 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 pop. Very good. Someone says 3, someone says 4. Hi Jade, you are back. Jade, not fair lah, Jade, because you attended before. So I won't take your answer, Jade. Okay, wait. Hello. Okay, wow, I have so many answers. So I think I have more 4s. Right? I have more 4s than 3. Okay. The answer is that, wait, let me check so that I don't get wrong. Yes, number 3 is, you can flash the answer now because we are down to yes. So number 3 is the lab-grown. So okay, other than Jade, who has attended before, so she knows my video and how I align the diamond. Other than that, I think most of us know that between 3 and 4, it is really quite impossible to tell, right? Because it's like, can you tell whether I'm a lab-grown baby, whether I'm an IVF baby? I was, okay, judging by my age, you will know that I am not, because back then maybe there wasn't many IVF baby. But you know, now when you look at a baby, you wouldn't be able to tell. So similarly, between 3 and 4, they are quite impossible to tell. Okay, so yeah, that was the lab grown, and then number 4 is the natural. Okay, and I will be telling you the price difference. So example number 1 is, let's say we talk about 1 carat. So number 1 could be $50. Colorless gemstones, it depends on what sapphire is slightly higher. So take it as $100 to $500 for colorless gemstone. I'm using Singapore dollars here, guys. So if you're watching from Indonesia or Malaysia or Australia, you do your conversion. Lab-grown diamond, if it's 1 carat, would be how much? 3,000, right? And then for, can we go back to the previous slide first? Yeah, so that we can stare at this and look at the price. Very good, Curie. And number 4 for 1 carat is probably about 10,000. All right, okay. just so that we understand. Now, I'm not biased or I don't practice favoritism against all of them. I think my role here is really to support as much as possible academic knowledge about diamond analysis and appreciation. Because I sell all four. I mean, the diamond similar, I don't really sell them per se. I've sold them a few times. You know what scenario? Let me share with you. There was this guy, he planned to propose, he signed up for Ironman race. Do you guys know what that is? Like a crazy competition where you run across the jungle and swim in open sea and all that. The girlfriend is waiting at the finishing line. So he customized a proposal ring with E-Clarity, and he says that he's going to put on that ring with him as he ran through the jungle and swam in the open sea and propose at the very finishing line. I say, in that case, should we make a fake one? You keep the real one in the hotel. It's a good idea. So we created a fake one, same design, same size, for him to go through the whole competition, right? So he proposed with the fake one, but the real one is waiting in the hotel. Yeah. So this is for the number one, the diamond simulant. Okay, colors, gemstones. You know, some people just like it because it's still natural and it's still, some people actually like the birthstone to be mounted, so they can be actually different colors as well. Okay, let me not be too naggy because I have a lot to say and I want to finish by 7 today. Okay, next slide. Yeah, this is a quick price. You know why there's a range here? Well, just now I told you a single price because it depends on what grade, right? So when I say natural, I say 10,000. I'm talking about a good enough 1 carat that I would ask my own family members to buy 10 to 15,000. 25,000 too high. I wouldn't ask my family to buy that kind of the flawless triple excellent. But some of you could be very sophisticated in your selection. I would definitely support you. We have stock, and but I'll go to that later on very briefly. Every first Tuesday of the month, I actually talk about grading a bit more. So I don't talk about the differences, but I talk about the grading more. So if you're interested, you can sign up for that. Okay. Now, Labgrown, 2005 to 8,000. Typically, I remember, can we have the diamond price? I remember it's 3,000-4,000, but let me check for you. And then, diamond simulant, and then the colorless gemstones. Okay, next slide. The certs. Okay, I think this part is good to answer to a few of your questions. Now, you see, Evangeline, you asked me, is GIA more stringent than the rest? Now, in case there's IGI stuff here listening, let me see how to answer to this. So I graduated from GIA myself, and I just a few things to take note. Now, GIA grade their diamonds under using 4Cs. Take, for example, the cut grade. Okay, let me just share with you the difference between GIA and IGI. Okay, so GIA best grade is called excellent. IGI best grade is ideal, right? And then followed by excellent. So in IGI, the second grade is called excellent for cut grade. The top grade is named ideal. Now, it's causing a bit of confusion. So whenever someone comes to me and asks me about this, I clarify in this sense. Now, imagine, Evangeline, you graduated from Harvard. You get an A for your math. I graduated from University of Chulalongkorn. Okay, I say Chulalongkorn because Chulalongkorn is a very good university in Thailand. So you are from Harvard, I'm from Chulalongkorn University. And I got super duper powerful distinction for my math. You got an A. I got super duper powerful distinction. Okay, say Jade, you are our boss. Okay, who do you think has better math? You don't know, right? Because you don't know what kind of grade. How is it? You have to put me to Harvard, or you put Evangeline to University of Chulalongkorn to know that where we stand, who is better. So it's very hard to compare IGI ideal and GIA excellent. Okay, they have their own similar, but they have their own quantitative measurement of light refraction and proportion and come up with their grading system. Okay, now in general, people in the market, when let's say, you have a diamond, I have a diamond, and we are fighting over the grading. Let's say you get an IGI, I get an EGL, and we don't agree with each other. We sometimes will send to GIA for a final say. So, okay, so I hope I have answered this question in more tactfully. We can take it offline, Evangeline. So for natural diamond, I personally like to go for GIA for the fact that their terms are also a little more down to earth, a little more academic by my standard. So I like GIA. Now, why did I say that for lab grown, I prefer IGI? Now, the reason is this. Okay, unless they have changed, but from my last check, GRA does not give you one grading. Like they don't say that this is a G color VS2 lab grown diamond. They will give you a range, like near colorless, very slightly included. So you wonder, does that mean is G or H or I or J near colorless? It could be G, H, I, J. You guys know about that, right? So color, when it's near colorless, it could be a G, a H, a I, or a J. All right. So GIA, when it comes to lab grown diamond, from what I last checked, they do not give a specific grading. They give a group. And then they give a group. Yeah. And IGI, they give individual grading. So I like that a bit better because it's easier for me to compare the prices, the performance. So for now, this is my recommendation. Okay. All right. Now let's move on. Okay. Now, so these are some photos that we have taken, natural diamond, and then, so you see, firstly, we clear the parts. We now know the difference between natural, lab-grown, gemstone, and synthetic. Okay. Now, I want to actually go through this very quickly before we talk about design. Okay, Curie, can we flash this? Okay, I think it's quite before. This one. Okay, now whether it is a lab grown or natural, they have 4 C's. Okay, so in general, if I were to give you a quick one, for color, we try to go better. So we try to go for one sentence summary. Color is like water or honey drink. Okay, so DEF, let's say, is water. S to Z is honey drink. Your KLM is diluted honey. Okay, so the more precious diamond is colorless. So we try to get the DEFG. Okay, all right. So color we go higher. Now between a D, a E, a F, and a G, is there a difference? I'll show on my first Tuesday of the month webinar. I will show you the difference. So you can sign up for that webinar. Okay, so the upcoming one will be in September, first Tuesday. Now clarity, one sentence summary is under the microscope. So under the microscope, flawless diamond has no dot. VVS has 1, VS has 2, SI has 3, I has 4. I'm overly summarizing this because it could be one huge black dot. It can still drop to I. Okay, so in general, if I were to again speak like a friend, I say don't waste money on flawless and VVS lah. Go to VS. Okay, but we have the stock for VVS, and I actually once again I show the difference during my first webinar of the month. All right, okay. Now, what's the problem with SI? Do you remember I shared before that I'm like talking to Jade like that. So SI, the problem is that it doesn't sound good. Okay, so sometimes when you tell your girlfriends or you tell your mom that you just bought an SI diamond, then immediately they say, no wonder I can see the dot. No wonder it's not sparkly. So just be careful of this connotation to SI. Okay, so I say that psychologically, it might make people feel that it's not a good diamond. But visually, can you tell the SI across the room? I can't. Okay, I can't. Okay, so that's a real dilemma. But of course, VS sounds better and looks better. Okay, if budget allows, go VS2. Okay, and if you see me as your friend, let me just allow me to say this in total honesty that I don't need a VVS. Okay. Now, cut grade, one sentence summary is a BMI of the diamond. So you don't want the diamond to be too deep or too shallow. You know what I mean? So when a diamond is too deep or too shallow, it's the diamond sparkle is affected. Okay, let me just draw for you here. Okay, so imagine that can you see my drawing? Oh dear. Okay, I need to change to a better pen. But you know, let's say this is the girlfriend, and this is a diamond that's too deep, this is too shallow, and this is just nice. So when it's just nice, the light reflection will go back to the tabletop. When it's too shallow, it goes to the side. When it's too deep, it goes to the bottom. Same kind of grading. Whether it's natural or lab grown, the cut grade is graded that way. Okay, now lastly, carat. We all know what carat is, right? Carat is so everyone will say size, right? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I see size. Yes, the weight. That is very good. Yes, so the correct answer is that is the weight. Okay, so but of course, right, if I'm like 200 kg, Chris is 100 kg. Okay, let's put it the other way around. Let's say I'm 100 kg and Chris is 200 kg. Who looks bigger? Chris will look bigger, right? So he's like a 2 carat, I'm a 1 carat only. So he's bigger. Okay, so it's usually graded based on or assessed based on the size by a layman. Okay, in the lab, how do we grade? We go weigh it. So that's weighing scale, and it comes out with the weight. Okay, now a very good question to ask yourself is, do you know which C is most obvious? Yeah, everyone says size. Yeah, do you know which C is most obvious? Yeah, I test this. Maybe I don't answer to you so that you sign up for the first Tuesday of the coming month, which I talk about diamonds in depth, right? So once you know how to prioritize, I mean, if you answer correctly, I'll tell you the answer now. Let me see. Okay, well done, well done. Jade, yeah, Jade, you skip lah, Jade, you are already the expert. Yeah, correct. So carat is the most obvious, right? Because I always have this thing that I show when at eClarity when a customer comes to me, like a 20 carat and say a 2 carat, you can tell that's the most obvious C, right? Right. So I always say like you have a 3-year-old who run into a wedding dinner and say, oh, today your diamond is so big, oh, today your diamond is so small. The most obvious C is the carat, followed by the second thing that you maybe would see is the color lah. Okay, I'm wearing a pink diamond and this is a colorless diamond. So this is already an exaggerated comparison, but between a D, a E, a F, a G, a H, I, a J, wow, I tell you, whenever I attend like wedding dinner, right, people will ask, what do you work as? I say I work as a gemologist. The whole table asks me, what do you think of my color? I'm like, wow, all look the same. Because when you're in a social setting with all the chandelier and dim lights, not easy to see the color. Okay, right? So, did I just say the answer? Okay, sorry. Okay, so the most obvious is carat. The second most obvious would be the color, and then followed by the cut, and lastly clarity, which is microscopic inclusions. This one giveaway. Okay, all right. Okay, let me continue to tempt you to sign up for the webinar. Actually, in my webinar, I have 8 C's in total. So I will share with you the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, and the 8th C. All right, okay. Okay, we have some visitors here. We're doing a webinar here, so let me just talk across. Okay, all right. Now that we know how to differentiate natural and lab grown, we also know how to kind of analyze the grading a little bit. We discussed about the different certs. Let me just go through some designs very quickly. Okay, so this is some pictures. These are some pictures of natural diamond rings and some lab grown. Yeah, don't judge the photography skill. It's just how it's being placed together. I think our eClarity photography is a bit more mature than BA. Okay, yeah, Curie is laughing because she's guilty. Okay, next slide. Okay, very briefly, fancy color diamond. Now, this thing about lab-grown diamond has also made many dreams come true, because things like pink diamond, okay, give you a very quick um, comparison. So a pink diamond, 2-carat pink diamond, is about 300,000, 300,000 Singapore dollars. A lab-grown pink diamond, it's 2-carat, is about 30,000. So it's 30,000 and 300,000. So that's why I feel that it's also good to mention about the fancy color diamond today, because if you're considering lab grown diamond, then let me know whether you would consider yellow diamond, pink diamond or not. Okay, but based on my interactions with all the couples here, most people would like to go for colorless diamond for proposal, and then leave the colored ones for anniversary, right? For example, Evangeline, if you're looking for natural diamond, yeah, go for natural diamond for proposal, and then 5 years later you can venture lab grown diamond. Example like that. I don't know you, Evangeline, but I'm talking to you like you were my friend already. So these are some tips that I like to share with the couples who are here. Okay, blue diamond is hard to find. Whether it's natural or lab grown, it is not easy. But eClarity team would, or BA.SG team would help you to shortlist and recommend. Okay, all right, next slide. So at 7 o'clock, I have 2 in-store appointments. So I'll very quickly finish off our webinar today. Okay. Now, these are more, so grading fancy color diamond has its own term. So it's no longer DEF. You hold on a second. Jimmy, maybe you can turn on the ventilation. Okay, because we're having more guests here. Yeah, so so it has different grading criteria. It's no longer DEF, GHIJ. All right, okay, next slide. Black diamond. There's someone who is asking me black diamond. Very interesting question, and I have one piece of black diamond right here. Who was the one who asked me? So this is black diamond. Yeah. So it's caused by aggregates forming during the formation of diamond. What are my thoughts? It is an artistic selection. Okay, black diamond used to be just for industrial purpose. It wasn't for proposal. So back many years ago, when I first joined this industry, I actually bought a 2-carat black diamond, just a few $100s, and I kept it here, which is the piece that you just saw. But of course, with design and all that, now black diamonds are also seen as very valuable choices. I think go with your heart. I think go with something that represents your style and your personality. Now, I'm telling you, in terms of value, black diamond at this current moment does not fetch the price of colorless diamond or pink diamond or blue diamond. But if it describes you, then go for it. Okay, and we will also have GIA certified black diamonds for you to select. Okay, all right, and just want to, before I finish off the webinar, just want to point out to you to be very careful that there are also natural but treated diamonds around. Okay, now when you go for GIA report, these are all indicated very clearly. Okay, so don't worry if you're getting a GIA legit report. you wouldn't be falling into this. But if you are not, then don't fall into good prices thinking that you got a good deal. Okay, because it's beyond a layman capacity to be able to identify. Okay, next slide. Yeah, and different shapes as well. Okay, so if you're looking into different shapes, now I always tell the guys, don't sabo yourself. If the girls have not told you that she wants other shape, then go with rounds. Your selections will be a lot more. Your mounting is also a little more versatile. Now, if she says she won't marry you unless you buy her a heart shape, then no choice, go for it. Okay, tell us about it. We'll shortlist for you. But if not, then you know, round is a very safe choice for a few reasons. Number one, round has no corners. Okay, so design is versatile. It is also less risk of breakage. Okay, number two, GIA has listed on textbook that round diamonds give you the best sparkle. So the rest, you know, you have to sometimes know that certain fancy shape is also cut deeper. Remember weight. Remember carat is a weight. So sometimes a 1 carat cushion cut and a 1 carat round, the 1 carat cushion cut typically looks smaller because it's a deeper cut. Okay, just a very quick one, just so that you know. Next slide. Okay, just showing you different setting. Okay, this is a tango setting, 3 claws and 4 claws. So you kind of need to start thinking about this. 5 claws, 6 claw, timeless setting. These are classic. Now, whether you want to add a halo, whether your ring has to have diamonds on the side. So these are your considerations. And then more tango. Yeah. And then next, can keep, thank you. And then embrace collection. Okay, next. Yeah, this one can keep, thank you. Yeah, and then customization. So there was, you know, look at the right, there's this very funny setting here because a guy told me that the girlfriend likes dogs and asked me to design a dogs with a solitaire. Challenging, right? So I make a dog paw for him and they love it. Yeah. Okay, next slide. Okay, some prices for comparison. Okay, 0.3 natural lab grown. One is 1,003, one is 800. Now just go through the slides, please, Kiri. 0.5, 2007 and 600. I can't really see the bottom. So now we can just run through all this. If you want to know specific carat size, prices, and specs, just send a WhatsApp to the number. Okay, all right, next. Okay, 1 carat, there's 9,007 and 5,004. And that one is already with the beautiful setting like that, right? At 1.5, moving forward. Okay, so and 2 carat. Okay, and pink diamond as well. Okay, I think I will end my session here very soon. Now, if any of you have any question, you know where to send your inquiries to, which is either the 98331220 or B&A number is, Chris? 92337218. Okay, so if you need one-on-one consultation, customization, send to eClarity. If you want like, wow, just quote you, chop, buy, propose, get married, send to ba.sg. Okay, now there's some webinar treat. $100 deposit, you get free gifts. This free gift I'm giving to one person later. Okay, but if you lock down with $100, you will get this. You get best price challenge for your diamond. You can decide within 3 months. Don't have to rush. How to make the deposit? Send Chris and Jimmy. They will send you the payment methods and all that. Okay, all right. Now, if you need me to talk to you, like we arrange another Zoom call or to schedule an appointment, please feel free. I love to talk about diamonds. Okay, anything else? Come, let's go through. Next webinars, as I said, so I want to tell you enough to sign up. The next Tuesday, I'm actually talking about jewelry overview. So yellow gold lah, you know, your 4点金, you know, like the bridal jewelry part. So if any one of you want to know, and I'll go into how to choose pendant, earrings, how many pair of earrings should every girl own. I'll talk about that. And then the following week, I'll talk about diamond again, and then customization of wedding band again. Okay. All right. Now, Curie will be showing you a few videos, okay? As I log out, they will still be here. So they will show you a few videos. Number one is how to take ring size. So if you need help to know more about ring size, you can stay on. Just very short, only 2-3 minutes. The second one is top 10 engagement ring design. So 2 more video if you want to stay on. If not, I will see you again on WhatsApp. If you want to listen to the replay again, or any of your friends are interested, just send a link to them, ask them to quickly register. The replay of today, what we have shared, will be on again at 9 o'clock, but need to quickly register, 9 p.m. today. Okay, let me see. Wow, okay. Now I see all the messages. Okay, wow, I have 2 very active chatter beside Jade lah. I don't want to talk about Jade. Jade always very active. Thank you, Jade. Now I want to give this to Pranjali. Thank you for your participation, and Evangeline. I think both of you are awesome. Thank you. So that I don't feel like I'm talking to myself, but I'm talking to some. So I'm giving these free gifts. How to collect or how? So I will leave it to Jimmy and Chris to chat with you about this. Okay. All right. Okay. Curie, you can turn on the video, and I'll see you soon.